Hello, everyone. Welcome to American Firearms Network. Thank you for watching. For those of you who are new, we appreciate you, and we hope you enjoy our show enough where you can subscribe or will subscribe. Today's show is buy once, cry once. What does that mean?
Yes.
You're buying all the wrong crap. Okay, you're buying all the wrong stuff, and you're making mistakes. And I've done it. I am notorious. I fell into every marketing trap in the gun world. I have holsters.
You must have about 100 holsters in it.
Maybe more. It could be more. I have tons of holsters that doesn't work for me, and I can't get comfortable with it. I finally am starting to get it right. So this show is about that, right?
Yeah.
So just not making a mistake, buying the right way, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. So you guys don't make the mistake.
You know,
right?
I remember one of my old trainers back in the day when I first got into this stuff. I had AR-15, and the first thing I done, I went and bought a sling for it, and the sling was all jacked up. Man, I took it to him. He said, "What have you got here?" And he took the sling off. He threw it away. He told me the one to go and buy. And then the following week, I come back with an optic on there, and it was one of those long optics, like I'm going to be shooting from about 100 feet.
Like you're a sniper.
And I got a sniper, and he looked at it, he said, "What you got there?" He said he took it off, threw it away, and he told me which one to buy. And I was getting a bit upset because every time I bought something and I took it to him, he said he disregarded it. But I understand now, because what I had wasn't efficient. It wasn't good enough. So it's important that you find out what is feasible, what you can use. Find a good instructor, someone that knows his stuff, someone that can explain to you what you need to buy. Because I'm telling you, you'll waste tons and tons of money buying stuff that you don't need.
So the biggest culprit, as I just said before, is holsters. Whenever I speak to people, so many people make those holster mistakes, and they're spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on holsters, like myself. Okay, it took me a couple of years to finally get it right. Okay, so go in there to the gun shop. And I know we might have spoken about this also. Go to the gun shop, check out some holsters, try them on. Sometimes they'll let you pull it out of the pack, just pop it into your gun belt, see if it fits. You know what I mean? Ask them if you can use, some gun there or something, or a blue gun or whatever. Just see how it fits on you and see if you can try it out. I know it's hard. Try to look at some YouTube reviews, or on the internet, look at some reviews of some holsters. If you're a bigger guy, even more challenging like myself, part of the reason why I went through so many holsters, it's difficult for me to find the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
So do some research before you just go out there and recklessly buy some holsters. But again, the red dot situation, I bought a couple of cheap red dots. I'm not going to name the company. One flew off the gun.
I know.
One, when I started shooting it, okay, it would just shut off out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get through a whole magazine. And then it would turn back on again after a little while. It was very strange. So you get what you pay for. Okay? It's the old saying. It's the famous old saying. You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Don't buy the cheap crap. Do some research. Pay a little bit more, and you'll get a better quality product.
You know what's notorious for that? Lights, weapons lights.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we have to remember, and we don't want to throw companies under the bus, but just because it's cheap don't mean it's any good. Okay? You got to be careful. And also you have to realize as well that there are some products are made just for airsoft.
Right. Yeah.
Firearms, just for airsoft. Doesn't mean it can go on your firearm. Okay? So be very, very careful with that. I've made mistakes by buying weapons lights, and I'm at the range shooting and the weapons light drops off.
Yep, me too. Same story. And I've seen that. How many on range days we see that? We see red dots go out, weapons lights falling off guns.
Yeah.
Just constantly, right? We see it not constantly, but enough to be a problem.
Enough to be.
Another situation is, for those that are new, you're watching YouTube, and you should, right? Watch gun reviews. We watch all the time. But just be careful what you buy, especially as a new shooter.
Yeah.
Go talk to some people, and more importantly, rent a gun before you buy it.
Yes.
Okay? Rent a gun. Rent a few guns, okay? Go into the range, even though you don't, have that much knowledge, and that's okay, right? You might say to yourself, wait a minute, I never even hardly shot ever before. How am I going to know what's good and what's bad? Well, you can notice it a little bit enough where you can feel it in your hand, you can feel the grip, what feels comfortable. You have 2 or 3 guns, maybe it'll cost you $75, whatever it is. Um, you can notice what feels right in your hand and what you're comfortable with. What is that grip? Making sure it's not too big for you, right?
Right.
Right? Making sure, yeah, for a concealed carry, you don't want too small of a gun, but you don't want a full size gun either, right? You want a kind of like a compact in between. Um, so you don't want to buy the wrong gun, and they can be very expensive, right? Anywhere from $500 to $1,000, $1,200
Yeah.
for a concealed carry gun. Make sure you try it out. There's no harm in trying and renting a few guns and getting a feel for what feels right.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing I want to just bring up, Todd, we're talking about equipment, but also we have to remember when you're looking for someone to train you, that's so important, making sure you get the right trainer, because that can be an issue. I know people have spent lots of money on instructors and they've left not feeling very good about the situation. So make sure you do your homework on finding the right instructor, somebody that can work with you, someone that's patient, someone that you feel comfortable with. Because we hear horror stories of people going to instructors and they regret paying the money because they weren't happy. They weren't happy in the way they were treated. So, just be mindful of who you have training you. And I think you'll be fine. But just make sure you focus on the reviews. The reviews are important,
Yeah.
Where's that person trained, what he's like. And most people are pretty good out there, but there are a few out there that you have to be careful and be mindful about.
Good point. That's all. Buy once,
Yeah,
cry once, right?
yeah,
Even paying for an instructor is very, very important, right?
yeah,
And if you're new to shooting, um, don't get caught up. Even if you have a lot of money and you can buy all these guns, whatever, I just suggest stick with one gun that you want to start off with. Learn that platform, whether it's Glock, Sig,
yeah,
Smith and Wesson, um, whatever you think, whatever you end up buying with, and spend the money in the beginning on ammunition and dry firing equipment.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's what you should do. Learn a little bit. There's plenty of time to go out and build your collection and
yeah,
buy all these guns, but in the beginning, okay, master one gun and spend the money on that type of stuff. Okay, don't go buying all this stuff when you're really not that knowledgeable, and then you regret it.
yeah,
Wow, I wish I didn't buy this gun for 900. I just wish I didn't spend 2,500 on this gun right now. I needed to. I didn't know this one was out there or this one was out there. Slow down. Slow down. Nothing's going anywhere. Learn properly how to shoot your gun and master that platform. Spend your money on quality training. Spend your money on ammunition and dry fire equipment,
mm-hmm,
and calm down and master that in the beginning. Okay, there's plenty of time to get all that stuff. Don't buy cheap stuff. Spend a little bit more on quality stuff. All right, and you won't regret it. Holsters, big loss. Okay,
massive.
try them out when you can, if the gun shop lets you. Try out a few. Bring your gun belt in, and before you buy. And that's our recommendation.
Yep, yep. And with that, the one and only statement: go out, train, 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 and more training. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends. Take care. We'll see you again.